Hey guys, this is Krishna coming back to you with another video for Davinci Resolve. What we're gonna cover today is gonna be the color page. So basically, once you're done chopping all your footages and media, you could add effects in Fusion, but what I want to cover today is gonna be the color page. So I already put just a few footages here together, and now I'm just gonna switch here to the color page. So this at first it can be overwhelming. I'm like I can't remember for me actually did that. So what I want to do today is just to give you an overview, a quick tour of it, trying to disconstruct the cover page here, and just to make you a little bit familiar with it. So uh, it's gonna be easy for you to find your way around the cover page here. So let's go ahead and do that. So basically. We also have some items here that we can enable and disable. Over here we have the gallery, and most of it, if we look here, we have the items that were in the timeline, and those items here are the ones that we have here. They're basically the same. Um, uh, the color page don't really deal with audio, so you're gonna see on some of the tabs that we might open here and there, audio is not gonna show. So it's mostly about um, affecting videos and pictures, right? So anything that's on top or above this bar over here. So it's gonna show us the items that are in the timelines. If we have different timelines, we're actually able to switch to it. We could also do a search for some of the items if we know those footages, we know the name, we want to look for something, or we have some keywords inserted in it. It's able to do that. We have some other items here, stills, and a lot of times you would grab a still like this, and it's something that you could use later on, as far as adding the same effects to different footages. But we're gonna get to that to a certain point. Over here we have LUTs, LUTs, LUTs. I think that a lot of people just call it like this. So those are already presets for some type of color correction. So if I go here, um, usually if let me just have a look here. If, give me 1 second. A lot of times, unless I have one feature that is not enabled, but it's supposed to already gives you a look of it. But I believe there is one thing that I have not enabled, so it's not I'm not able to see. Oh, so here we go. But I think yeah. So yeah, so that's what I was saying. So it's able to show you how it's gonna look um if you apply this to your footage, right? So you're able to see how it's gonna look, but so you have different already some some presets here that you could use if you find that the look works for you. But a lot of the looks that you see here, you will be able to get to that with some of the items here, though it's gonna take you a little bit uh, a longer time to do it. So actually, yeah. So let's move up over here. We have the media pool, and this is just gonna show you all the items that are available, that you will have drag and drop over here, right? Those are the same items that we see here, the media pool. So I'm just gonna close that. If we come here, we have access to some of the items that show up here. We have the timeline. So basically, this is the same thing as whatever timeline that we had there. And as we switch items here, you see that um, it's showing us the item that corresponds to it. And the clips here refers to that. So a lot of times I'm not going to show the timeline. I'm just going to keep it on clips. So uh, I have a little bit more realistic. You could also just remove the clips over here. So it makes it a little bit bigger. So now if you want to go to a different clip, I will just go through the items just like that, right? So I'm able to select the next clip. Okay. So as we move up here, the other item, so let me actually move this a little bit here. So we have the nodes here. It's an additional feature that you have where you could apply some more effects. Um, and it's very good. So this over here looks a little bit, it's actually a little bit like layers in Photoshop. That's the way I come to understand it. So there is different things that we could do here. We could add another layer, so layer, add a serial layer. So we could add another layer here if we want to preserve whatever effects that we did here, but we want to add some more effects, to another one. This is basically where we could do it. Oh, the other thing as well that you have is you have the open FX here, where you already have some type of effects that are already set up for you, and you could actually drag it to one of them, and you see here it did change, right? And let me actually remove that. But over here, so if you drag it like this, it does affect the entire clip. You could actually change it. So if I come here, you have a setting over here that comes in, and uh, you could definitely uh, configure a little bit more. But usually, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna drag it. You could drag it here, just in the empty space here, but then you need to set it up as far as this going to the end over here, the end node. So now it does play. So basically, what you can do is you can stack up different effects just like that. So over here, actually, let me delete this. So I showed you that you could actually set it up here in the empty space and actually link it. But what you actually gonna do is if you drag it here and you put it towards just on the line here, it's gonna add it directly to the flow, so it comes here at the very end, right? And both of them now are like layers on top of each other. So the signals over here come at the very end and takes those two into consideration. So those are some of the effects that you have. You have a bunch of effects here. Some effects are, most of them are free. A lot of them is free, but you're gonna find some where it doesn't work unless you have the paid version of DaVinci Resolve. I can't remember which one it was, but if you just go through them, you're gonna be able to find some of them. If we come down here, Lightbox here, usually I don't use that. You just show me some of some of the footages that I have there. A lot of the things that you're gonna be using are gonna be down here, depending on what you need to achieve, right? So, and as well, if you just hover over here, it's gonna give you a little bit more detail about it. And all of those are different options that you have. Usually, the one that I just try to usually tend to use are the curves, and over here for the color wheel, right? Those are the ones that I usually use the most. But from time to time, I might come here over here as well to use some of the things over here. So you're gonna have those different options over here, but you have sub screens that you have available on some of them. So this one over here for the colorway, you're gonna see that I'm able to access different type of information here. This one over here for the curves that they have something different. And who else also has it? Let me just have a look. You're gonna see that there is different things that are available over here. So um, those are the different options that you're gonna be using to try to change the color of your footage. And over here we have additional tools. So we have the metadata over here. So just depending on the clip that we have selected, you're gonna see that it does change, right? And over here we have different scopes available to us. Let me actually just come here. So is just a visual way to see a little bit some of the representation of the color that you have on the footage. So if I come here, you're gonna see, actually let me come here to the custom here, but you're gonna see that when I change part of the curve over here, that representation change as well. So it's letting me know, and you see over here, so over here I'm trying to bring a little bit more black, a little bit more darkness, shadow as well in the picture. And you see over here, no, there is no black actually in that picture. I mean dark, right? So if I just switch a little bit here, you're gonna see that it's gonna go towards the bottom now, and it's letting me know that my picture is really does have a lot of dark in it. and a lot of, so it shows the whole spectrum over here, and you have different way of seeing that information, right? Just over here, like that. So you have all of them over here, and just depends on what is you most comfortable with. That's the one you're gonna be using. So that's a little bit of an overview of the cover page over here. Again, most of everything that has to do with media footages, a way to report to for directory or to have them at the repertoire is going to be over here. The main one that you are selecting is going to be here. We have additional nodes here that we could use for additional effects as well. We could stack up different effects to it in a chain, right? But most of the options that we're going to be using to color correct are going to be down here, and they have additional windows that we have access to. And over here is just a visual way to see items. And I did forget a little bit the keyframe over here, but I usually tend to not use that for the color correction. But you also have some keyframes here that you have access to over here. So that's all I wanted to show you. We're gonna be diving a little bit deeper in some of those tools in the next video. So if you have any questions, do let me know. Don't forget, I believe there is a link of DaVinci Resolve in my description if you want to get that. And like I mentioned, it is free. And yeah, if you like the video, thumbs up, and I will talk to you some other time. Okay.